Alright, g'day guys, Matt Preston built Cruisers now. Today's video a bit random, but basically we're doing 2 DC-DC charger installs on 2 full drives. So the Prado is just behind the camera and the 60 is here, and you're probably wondering, Matt, why have you downgraded to a 25 DC-DC from a 60? And I'll explain that in this episode. Alrighty guys, so the main reason and the obvious reason why I've gone, unfortunately, down from this big 60 is basically because I chose the wrong product. So it's not rocket science, but basically if you guys do know this, alternators can only put out so much, and I've got a pretty, I've just got a Bosch like normal alternator, it's 80 amp, but on idle it's doing about 40 or less. So basically the big 60 was just sucking the life out of it too much, and I actually swapped the alternator thinking it was stuffed, but it was actually fine. And it also killed a battery, and now I've got 2 working batteries and an alternator that died way too early for no reason. So I've learned from my mistakes. Just because it says 60 doesn't mean you can necessarily run it. Obviously if you have a big American trucks, you've probably got a bigger, more powerful alternator and you might be fine. But this is quite large and almost unusual to run in especially these normal sort of classic cars like this one here, like a 4-wheel drive. Now, I might have been able to do a 40. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but I had the 25 in the Prado, granted it's a smaller engine, and it ran like a dream, no issues, and it was more than quick enough to sort of charge the battery. So this battery is bigger, so you could argue I need a bigger one, but 25 will be just fine for my needs. And obviously worst case scenario, you can start the car at camp if you need charge, but I'll have solar on the roof, and trust me, that is more than enough to top up the battery. Have the Prado 230 watt panel on the roof, and that's beautiful for it. So basically, end of the story is I won't be using this absolute beast of a unit, the big 60 here, but we're in good hands with the 25. So that's the main reason why we're swapping. But now let's cut to the footage of swapping this one out and swapping the Prado one. Alrighty guys, so it's actually my bad, but basically this big 60 amp DC-DC charger from iTechWorld, it's not their fault, it's mine, but basically it's just way too powerful and it just kills the alternator. So I've replaced an alternator already, and I could get a high port alternator, but they're about $800, $600, $1,200 range, which is just, I can't really justify that. And for an alternator that could just get wrecked in a mud hole, it's not really worth it in my opinion. So basically this absolute beast, which worked really well and worked fantastically quick as well when it was on, is just basically too powerful. So we're going to go back to the 25 amp DC-DC charger. So basically this is all still live, so I've just taped up most of these wires here, and we're going to try and swap this one out and put the 25 amp one in here. And we're actually going to be using the one from the old trusty Prado over here, and it is literally like half the size of this, so it might actually work really well. But I do know that the plugs come out this side instead of that side, so I might have to reroute them a different direction. Alright, so here's the trusty 25 amp DC-DC iTechWorld, and I'll be taking, now this one's been in the car for maybe 3 years, for a long time. You can even see now it's working fine. It's flashing because it's basically trying to take in solar as priority, which is pretty cool. So it looks a bit messy, but everything is labelled, so I should be able to more or less get this all sorted pretty easily. And then basically we're going to plug just a cheap sort of DC-DC in here for now to get it going. So basically this one was a good deal because it came with the Anderson, but this looks a little bit similar, as you can probably tell. So that will sort of go in there like that, and then we can plug in all these cables. So pretty straightforward. But then that one will go in the Prado, and then this one will go on the wall, which will be seen, and obviously better quality, so I want that in the 60. Like, guys, I will say this 90-degree bit is paying for itself because I have to get screws that are just impossible to reach otherwise. Okay guys, so that's that one out, absolute beast. You can see it's almost the size of a 3000 watt inverter, probably a 2000 watt inverter. This would be pretty close, but basically we won't be using this anymore. Like I said before, it's way too big and powerful for the setup, which is fine because it just means I'm going to put a small one in. Now, pretty cool, it does have this little cover, so you can see you've got all your inputs there, DC out, DC in, solar, and you also got a little one down here, which is the ignition and temp. But basically this little cap goes over it, like that. So it's a pretty nice unit and really big fins for cooling. So it was very snug up there and has put a slight hole in the roof. That's okay because the next one's a lot smaller. So let's get that one going. Right guys, so basically, probably hard to tell what's going on. Basically, the only thing connected now to this iTechWorld is the ignition. So I'm obviously gonna connect that one up to here, which is on the other unit. So I'll be honest guys, like that's the drawings, it's pretty dodgy. I'm not sure how that was left, but that's how we're gonna connect up this new one. And then over here, I do have another one, temp sensor. Now, I don't even think I ran that in this previous iTechWorld unit. So I'm probably not gonna run it in this King's one either, but basically that will be left to the side for now, and we'll just get this ignition wire sorted over, and then it should be all correct. And we do also have, I set it to lithium on the battery there, and you can see the solars sort of flashing, which I'm assuming means it's actually working and taking charge off of it, but kind of similar to the iTechWorld. Alrighty guys, if you're a Sparky, look away now, but basically use these little things, which if you know they're kind of not recommended, but kind of work, and basically you bypass soldering, but you put two wires there and you crimp it all together, and then what I like to do is put some tape on it as well so it can't actually come out. So that's the ignition properly crimped and then sort of taped as well so you can't actually like pull it apart. But basically this is flashy and to me seems ready to go. So I'll just start the car and make sure it sort of works, and then I think that's it. Alright, so I've just turned the car on and you can probably hopefully see that the alternator is flashing, so, and we're on lithium and flashing, so I'm pretty sure that means that's all good and working well. Alrighty guys, so basically you saw how epic the big charger looked there before. Look at how pathetic this cute little 25 amp looks, but it will work very well. So basically guys, if I just quickly hold it there, on camera it probably looks fine, but basically it's almost 1/4 of the size of what was there, and now there's a huge void up there, which is fine because I might actually put like chargers, like Milwaukee chargers, that sort of stuff on the wall, which could be kind of cool, and you like charge your 5 amps or whatever off that. But yeah, basically I need to put it like that way so that the words are up the right way as well, because if I put it that way, which is where the cables kind of want to go, then it's upside down and it's just going to drive me out the wall. So I will put it that way. And you might ask, Matt, can't you flip that? Most inverters you can't. This inverter, we tried to flip it and the internals of it are built one way. So I'd assume this is the same, also being the same brand, but that's fine because I'm just gonna run the cables probably underneath and then we'll cover it all in conduit. So the biggest issue I have now is that the big 60 amp, I'm not sure you can see here, but all the cables are kind of like, they're quite raw, they just go in like that. Whereas this, as you can see, is covered in Anderson plugs. So I either need to slice and dice everything, which is probably what I will do, or Anderson plug these other connectors. But because I sort of end up covering it in this little nice conduit, I don't want the big Andersons on there, and I have no plans on taking this out at all. So it doesn't need to be a quick release Anderson. So I'm probably just gonna cut these all off. Yeah, pretty simple, but basically been putting these iTechWorld connectors onto here because going against what I sort of said, and we actually are gonna make this a plug and play, which is good. And I figured the main reason as well, because it's up here, all the wires are actually hidden. So I didn't want these big bulky wires, but I'm actually gonna do it because they're all hidden, and then it's literally plug and play for me, which is awesome if I upgrade anything in the future. So now this one here, guys, you can see, hopefully see that. Gonna just push this positive one into this Anderson here, and then that's one of 2 connectors done, because remember guys, we don't have solar on this car yet, so we're not gonna be able to use that connector. Okay guys, it's currently 8:35, it's getting a bit later now. And basically we're plugging it all in. So I've just put the ignition wire in. I'm not going to use this, not sure you guys can see this, but this is like also got the temp, but I'm not going to be using that for now. So that's just going to sort of sit there on the side. And then basically here we've got our, these are our outputs. So we've got our positive and negative. So we're going to clip them in like that. And unfortunately that was a triple one. I didn't have any other one, but I figured because it's hidden up here, you won't really see it. So that's our outputs in there. And then this one here, guys, this is the input. So this is straight from the alternator, guys. And then yeah, black and green, that's solar. So we don't have that yet. So that will just go out of the way, but we'll connect in the alternator. So plug and play, should be pretty straightforward. All right guys, hope you can hear me in the dark. It's currently 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, but we're gonna do it anyways. So basically guys, this, if you look up here, you can hopefully just see on camera. Basically, if I didn't see the flashing light, yeah, so that means it's charging off the alternator right now, and it's on lithium up there. And then if I look on my little screen here, you can see plus 20.9 amps, and it'll take about 20 minutes. So it's charging. And then if I go on my app, it also says it's charging, and you can see that it says charging, and the current's there as well, and the power. So pretty exciting. So basically, to my understanding, this is fully working now, and that is going to be charging the battery, but at a much healthier rate. It's going to be charging it, but just at 25, so not the 60 which just massacred it before. So pretty exciting. I'm on to this over the next few days because obviously it needs to be reliable, and I'm going camping this weekend. But pretty excited guys, I'll be honest, because yeah, I've been working late to get that done, and now it's done. Okay guys, it's currently the next day, and this is important because it's been about 24 hours, and I want to see A, if the battery's held charge, B, if the fridge is still running, and C, if the DC is doing what it's meant to do. So basically guys, hop on the iTechWorld app, and basically the battery will pop up, and it's just going to be able to tell me exactly what's happening with the battery. And it's very accurate because this is reading directly off the battery, whereas this monitor here is going through a shunt and everything, so has a little bit more play there with what it actually tells you. So let's check the app and see what it says. All right, so you can see here guys, got that up here, you can see it's just up there at the top, so click that, main menu, and then here we've got 88%, here it says 89, so basically the exact same. And then we got voltage, and you can see the status is on standby, so it's doing nothing, which makes sense because there's nothing on. So if I just turn these little lights on here, let's see which one goes first. It's either the battery, or here we go, discharging on the app straight away, so that's worked. And you can see that it's 0.9 of an amp, so basically nothing. And then here we go on the screen here, 0.6. So a little bit out, like I said before, but very close into saying what they're saying. 13.2 volts on the app, 13.1 on the iTechWorld there. So that's working well. And basically, what I can see as well is that it has held charge, and the inverter's on power saver mode, but not drawing power, which is also what we want as well. So basically, that 25 amp DC charger fully works, and that'll be great because I'm camping this weekend, so got to need it to charge for sure, because when I ran the induction off this, as you guys would probably expect, it depletes the battery. So definitely going to be making sure that works very well. Alrighty guys, so all in here safe and sound, and basically this, even right now, it's obviously the car's not on, so it's going to be waiting for the alternator, but if we had the solar panel, I'd hit solar priority and this would be charging off the solar, but that works beautiful and all in good order. Alrighty guys, that's the end of the video. A bit of a random one, I guess you could say, but saw a sneak peek of the Prado for you guys there, but that car should now be untouched in a sense. I shouldn't have to steal any more mods from it. Both of you guys can, I guess, understand and justify my decision to sort of take the one out the Prado when I probably could have just bought a new one, but there was nothing wrong with it and it ran like a dream. So I knew it'd be kind of cool as well. I bought it like 3-4 years ago, put it into the 60 and it lives on in the next car on the channel, which I think is pretty cool. So that's here sipping away, and that keeps my battery all topped up. So like and subscribe guys, trying to hit 20,000 subscribers. We're ages away, I'm just kidding, but would be awesome. But thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, if you do want some 12 volt gear, this is my shout out, and I do have also a discount code for them. So I think if you check my link tree on Instagram, you'll see, I think you get 5-10% off, which is pretty good. So go check out their gear, like and subscribe. Catch you next time on Built Cruisers.